The dust is yet to settle following the collapse of CBEX, an investment platform that promised wealth but left Nigerians broken and bankrupt.
Should you invest your money in something that is not realistic?
You need to ask yourself, you want to make 100% in a month. Some are promising 100% in a week. How is that done? Can World Bank give you that? Can IMF give you? Can Central Bank of Nigeria give you? Which of the DMBs can give you? None.
From the days of the Wonder Banks to MMM, we had all sorts in this country. But why is it that people keep falling for it?
In a country battling inflation and economic uncertainty, one platform offered hope. It promised to turn the average Nigerian into a crypto millionaire fast. All you had to do was invest. No experience, no trading, just trust the system. Thousands jumped in, but it wasn't opportunity, it was bait, and millions followed. What followed was a nationwide collapse of trust. Families sold lands, drained life savings, and borrowed from friends. All were dreams that never existed. Behind the scenes, a well-orchestrated Ponzi machine was running at full speed. It hid behind glossy branding, fake testimonials, and a cost-like digital hype. This wasn't just a scam, it was a financial massacre, a digital war, one that left broken homes, vanished billions, and a country shaken to its core. This is the untold story of CBEX, the crypto coin that shattered the lives and futures of millions. First, there was a phone call. Uncle Chinedu's friendly recognizable voice asks, "Emeka, Alpha," a man renowned in the family for his charisma, boundless optimism, and more recently, his ostentatious way of living. Emeka had doubts. Since his temporary work ended, life has been difficult. Rent is due, he has no money, and his mother's health is at risk. He therefore paid attention when his uncle informed him about CBEX, a brand new financial opportunity that's spreading through Nigeria. Chinedu had remarked, "It's like crypto, but better. My child, we are talking about 25% returns each year. All you have to do is get in early." Far from it, government people self don't enter. I've already made 2 million naira in 3 months. This is your chance to break out of poverty. That night, Emeka didn't sleep. Emeka completed his registration close of that week. He spent all of his 420,000 naira in savings. He had nothing else. On the CBEX app, he selected a 3-month plan. It invest and then waited. The interest materialized every morning, as his uncle had mentioned. On paper, his 420,000 naira had gone to 700,000 naira by the second month. He was alive. He started telling his pals, the youth group at church, and even his baba about it. He said to them, "You will regret not entering now." He saw his referral incentives begin to roll in, ranging from 5,000 naira a year to 10,000 naira there. Emeka persuaded more than 40 individuals to join CBEX by December. He felt heroic and proud. January 2025 arrived. The application stopped updating. CBEX Telecom Group initially claimed that it was a system update. Don't worry, your money is secure. However, the weeks passed slowly. Support ceased answering. Then everything became silent. Panic struck. Emeka gives his uncle a call. Chinedu's tone dropped. "I have no idea what's happening. Last month, I invested 5 million naira. My own people are even questioning me." CBEX had just vanished. The Abuja headquarters empty. The ones who promoted inaccessible. They were nowhere to be found. CBEX is not a licensed financial institution, was the central bank's late warning. Emeka was unable to breathe. His friends turned on him. "You said it was legit," shouted one of Emeka's friends, who sold his motorcycle to join. One woman from church cursed him in front of the altar. "Because of you, my children will not go to school. Emeka stopped leaving the house. He disconnected his line, deleted WhatsApp, and avoided the mirror. His mother, still battling diabetes, was now being chased out of the local clinic for unpaid bills. And for his uncle Chinedu, he was nowhere to be found. The last message he sent simply read, "We were all food." Emeka felt like a ghost. He wasn't just broke, he had broken the trust of everyone around him.
So, how did they do it? How did the faceless crypto platform convince thousands of people to empty their savings into a system that didn't exist? It's not just about greed, it's about belief. CBEX sold more than fake profits. They sold hope. CBEX used urgency like a weapon. Hurry before it's full. Only early birds will enjoy 100% returns. This wasn't an investment, it was a psychological race. When people feel like they're about to miss out on something profitable, they stop thinking clearly. This is called FOMO, fear of missing out, and it worked. CBEX relied on you as its most effective instrument. The victims became the marketers. When you noticed your peers making money, your brain stopped asking questions. Social proof suggests that if a large number of people believe something, it must also be true, even if it's false. They didn't only use money, they used emotions. Poverty in Nigeria is a personal issue as well as an economic one. CBEX promised dignity, relief, and rescue from suffering. People told their parents, their churches, their entire communities. It felt like a movement, not a scam. And just like that, belief turned into blindness. Hope became a cage, and thousands of Nigerians were trapped in a dream that never existed. This wasn't just a story of fraud, it was a story of hunger. But hunger can wear many faces. CBEX didn't sell crypto, they sold a new identity. You weren't just making money, you were becoming somebody. The broke student became a boss, the single mother became a breadwinner, the unemployed graduate became a financial mentor. Every Monday, CBEX gave you enough dopamine, a payout, a referral bonus, a sudden 10,000 naira gift. It's the same trick casinos use. The brain loves unpredictability. It keeps you checking, keeps you clicking, keeps you locked in. This is where greed disguises itself as ambition. When people around you are succeeding or pretending to, you don't want to be left behind. You want in, you want more. CBEX understood how to make greed sound holy. People weren't saying, "I want to get rich quick." They said, "This is once in a lifetime opportunity." That's how greed hides. Behind good intentions, paying your mother's hospital bills, helping your siblings through school, helping your community. But in the end, the hunger for more becomes the blindfold. The initial retreat always works. That is the bait. So what do? You put in more. 2 million naira isn't enough. What if I doubled it again? At that time, you aren't thinking clearly. You are chasing a feeling, not a goal. CBEX did not have to run advertisements. Their victims did so for them. Greed makes you believe. Believers become evangelists, and evangelists, they become recruiters for their own distractions. CBEX did not produce greed, it exposed it. In us, within our families, in our fears, in our dreams. The cruel genius of a scam is that it does not use force to rob you. It allows you to do it yourself. Not everyone was fooled. Some knew exactly what was going on. These were the wolves, the insiders who joined the scam not to save themselves, but to ride it as long as they could. They called it Ponzi on Ponzi, profiting on the promise while knowing the truth, recruiting friends, families, and even strangers while plotting their getaway. Some function as promoters, using charm and deception to persuade others to invest. The most painful part, others discreetly held their earnings, waiting for the crash to pay out and then vanish. These insiders betrayed those who had trusted them. Family, friends, and neighbors all made sacrifices to feed their greed. It wasn't just a scam against the masses, it was a betrayal of community and trust, but greed drowned out the whispers. Even others who suspected the truth frequently remained mute, fearing to miss the trip. By the time the system caught up with CBEX, the damage had already been done. Over 600,000 Nigerians were locked out of their accounts. Phones stopped ringing, Telegram groups went silent, and an estimated 1.3 trillion naira vanished into thin air. In early April 2025, CBEX froze withdrawals. There was no announcement, just silence. Then came a suspicious update. Users had to pay $100 to $200 to verify their accounts before they could withdraw their funds. But this wasn't a solution. It was a last-minute cash grab, a desperate final squeeze before the collapse. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission officially declared CBEX an illegal operation. The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) followed, labeling it a digital Ponzi scheme dressed in crypto jargon. They confirmed what many feared. CBEX was never licensed, it was never real. But who was really behind it? On paper, CBEX Nigerian operations ran through a company called ST Technologies International Limited, a tech shell used to launder investor funds into crypto wallets through stablecoins like USDT. But that shell led somewhere bigger. At the top sat a British firm, ST Investment Co Limited, registered in the UK. Its listed owner, a 55-year-old British national, Harold David Charles. He appeared in local media articles as a financial strategist, preaching innovation and regulatory compliance. He promised audits, expansion, financial inclusion. But investigators now see his company served as the legal front for CBEX foreign structuring. To date, he hasn't been publicly charged, but his name appears in ongoing investigations, both in Nigeria and internationally. Meanwhile, 6 Nigerian promoters were named in court filings. They allegedly ran CBEX ground-level operations. Adeforora Abiodun Olanigbekun, Adeforora Oluwanisola, Emmanuel Uko, Seyi Oloyide, Arusuo Otorudo, Chukwuebuka Heyirim. They were accused of collecting hundreds of millions of naira, promising returns as high as 100%. They disappeared when CBEX fell apart. Their listed addresses in Lagos and Ogun State were abandoned. They didn't all run though. One of the leading promoters, Adefora Abiodun Olanikpekun, turned himself in to the EFCC in Abuja on April 28, 2025. He arrived with his lawyer and reportedly expressed a willingness to cooperate. Additionally, the EFCC released a public notice targeting 4 foreign nationals who are suspected of aiding in the cross-border transfer of funds. Johnson Otieno, Israel Mbaluka, Joseph Kabira, Sira Mitru. The alleged role running international crypto wallets, managing back-end operations, helping CBEX push money beyond Nigeria's reach. But in the hunt for justice, some names emerged that didn't belong. One was Eli Bitar, a Lebanese national. His name trended online after a company called CBEX Solution Limited appeared in registration records. But Eli wasn't part of the scam. The EFCC later confirmed that he had no involvement in the CBEX platform. CBEX Solutions Limited
had existed years earlier for unrelated tech services. It was a case of mistaken identity and a reminder that in digital chaos, even the innocent can be wrongly blamed. As part of the crackdown, the EFCC froze multiple bank accounts tied to CBEX and its agents. Interpol was contacted to assist in tracing offshore crypto wallets. The trial leads across Africa, Europe, and Asia, but much of the money has already disappeared into anonymous chains. In late May 2025, CBEX websites resumed operations quietly, asking users to verify their accounts again before making withdrawals. To some, it looked like a return. To others, it looked like a trap. The SEC issued a second warning, urging Nigerians to stay away. But for a moment, CBEX still lived, floating in a legal gray zone like a ghost that refused to die. Until it didn't. In July 2025, the website went completely offline. No announcements, no refunds, just gone. Regulators had caught up. The marks had slipped. The scam had finally run out of road.